the state of the publishing industry. I'm Karen Beery with Right Now Editing, where we turn good manuscripts into great books.
And I'm Peg Thomas, multi-award winning author and editor, and we are two editors for 5 minutes.
I'm going to go ahead. Oh, first, let me grab my timer. Oh,
Oh
completely
yeah, we
forgot
do
about
need that.
this.
Even
Um,
even when we have it running, we don't always follow it.
um,
It's 5-ish minutes.
5-ish minutes. I'm going to get that started now. And also going to date this. We are recording on Saturday, to March 21st. You won't see this for a few weeks. But I wanted to put the date in here because we're going to talk about the state of the industry. And if you're not watching this for a few weeks, or if you watch this in a couple of years, I don't want you to think that we're talking about what's happening right now. But as of today, March 21st, I've had two big news stories that came out regarding publishing. The first was from Publishers Weekly, where they reported on the number of books published in 2025. Peg, do you remember what they said? How many books were published in 2025?
I am not a numbers person, so it gets more than three or four zeros, and I'm lost. What was it?
4 million books.
4 million. How
Million.
many zeros is that?
That's a lot of zeros.
Okay.
And of those 4 million, less than 700,000 were traditionally published. So you're looking at over 3 million books that are indie published, self-published, or AI generated. And so that's the first big news story. The second one I actually just saw this morning, and Hatchet Books, this was first reported in New York Times, is pulling a book, Shy Girl, which had originally been indie published. They picked it up for wide distribution. Lots of people were suspicious of the writing, and it's been put through an AI detector. And now they're reporting that up to possibly 78% of it was AI generated. Now, the author is saying that she didn't know that the editor used some AI tools and she wasn't aware of what's going on. So I'm not disparaging the author. We don't know enough, but want to report that people online read it. They were suspicious. Investigations happened, and this was the decision that was made. So the reason we want to talk about this is because Peg, when we started writing back in the day, um,
We had charcoal on a slate.
really, we were still using pen and paper. Um,
Oh, that's right. You're younger than me. You had pen and paper. I had charcoal on a slate.
um, you know, I remember even just a few years ago, they were talking about possibly 1 million books were published, and now
Yeah.
it's 4 million.
Yeah.
The market is saturated. Now, they don't say whether or not those are paperbacks or hardcovers, ebooks, audio. Um,
Even fiction or nonfiction,
right. So
we
I
don't
don't
know.
have that, but that's still an astronomical number. And the reason we want to bring these up is a couple of things. First of all, marketing. Peg, how do you market your books?
Ugh, mostly I buy Facebook ads and I have gone to video ads and I'm finding that they are the most effective for me right now.
And when you
And
started writing, how back in the cold days, what were they telling you? What were your best strategies?
blogging, everybody wanted you to have a blog and be blogging. Blogging is now pretty much a dinosaur,
And
and it hasn't been that many years.
well, and honest that my sister was a professional blogger for years. Within the last 2 to 3 years, um, because of AI, it's a desert. She
Yeah.
does basically makes no income off of it anymore. Um,
Well,
but
and in truth, it was dying well before AI.
right.
Things were shifting. People weren't taking the time to read a whole blog. They wanted to read a 120 word tweet.
and
So
that's really
consumption of the internet had changed already.
why we want to bring this up because I mean I only started writing maybe 15 to 20 years ago. Um, and since then, there's already been a shift. And now we're seeing all of these new books. And now we're seeing AI come out. Things change. the publishing requirements, industry standards, reader expectations, all of those things change as the industry changes, as readers' expectations change. And really, what we just want to say is please don't panic. And,
Yes. Yeah.
and please,
Everything changes.
everything changes. So please don't jump on a bandwagon right now. Don't jump on the, well, obviously, I can only be traditionally published. That's the only way I can go. Or obviously, I can never look at or touch anything AI because that's the only way to go. Things change. These stories just broke, but I we want to encourage you. Give it a couple of years. Keep writing. Keep learning the craft. Keep writing your stories, but give everything a few years. And if you read some really good advice 5 years ago, maybe don't hang everything on that piece of advice because it might not be relevant now or in a year or two.
Yeah. And in fact, one of the other stories that I was following a little bit earlier this week was the industry starting to acknowledge that social media platforms do not sell books. But we've known this, by the numbers, statistics have proven that for a long time. But they've always said, have that big platform, But it's pretty much being acknowledged now. They're saying the quiet part out loud that those big platforms don't sell books.
And so now you're seeing authors that have spent years building platforms that have tens of thousands of followers and they still can't get book contracts. And they don't understand why, because they did what they were told. So,
But the background changed. But let's
yes.
end with a bit of hope.
Yes.
All this stuff is changing, but what's picking up is newsletters. Author newsletters are where your readers will find you. It's your best chance of following. It's something that you can take with you from one platform to another.
Mhm.
You own that list. It's yours. It grows very slowly, but it grows organically with people who are interested in your books and want to follow you. So if you're going to put your eggs in one basket
Mhm.
today it's newsletters.
And
15
actually
years ago, it was blogs, but today it's
that is
newsletters.
the one consistent, honestly, throughout the years, and regardless of fiction,
Yeah,
nonfiction, um, the media that you're using, that is the one consistent thing. So
it is.
definitely put some time and effort into that and just keep writing, keep learning the craft, keep practicing writing, and just be willing to roll with the punches. So,
Yeah, expect it's going to change and be
yes.
willing to change with it.
So our 5 minutes have spilled over. We'll be back
Again,
next week with a little more practical advice. But until then, I'm Karen Beery.
and I'm Peg Thomas, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.